Welcome back. It is the Vegas Take. Sharp and Shapiro wrapping up a week of great shows and great guests. It is Friday, and that means it is time for our guy, Mike Babcock from TMZ Sports, who joins us now. Mike, always appreciate it, my man. How you doing?
What's up, fellas? How are you?
Doing good. So I want to start.
Great, Mikey.
I want to start with the baseball theme because we've got a little Major League Baseball in town this weekend. There's this team called the Charleston River Dogs. They're the New York Yankees minor league affiliate. I know you're a big Yankees fan. And apparently they have canceled their OJ trial night promotion after admitting it was a bad idea. What the hell was this OJ trial night? What were they thinking?
I have no idea what they were thinking. I think they came to the right decision in canceling it. What it was one of these minor league baseball promotions. And it was a play on the OJ murder trial. They were going to turn the crowd, the fans, into a jury. But instead of talking about whether OJ was guilty of the murders, they were going to deliberate on whether orange juice should have pulp or no pulp. So it was kind of a play on the murder trial. As soon as they announced it, they announced their whole promotional calendar, and people immediately said, what the hell are these guys thinking? There was immediate backlash. The team came to their senses, and they have completely canceled this night. It was, I think, an ill-conceived promotion. Thankfully, they've canceled it. This was a team, Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez, a lot of guys who are now on the Yankees big league roster have came through Charleston and played for the River Dogs. But, they missed the mark on this one.
So long-term golfer, Scott Piercy, who we actually had as caddy on our show, but he made a pretty homophobic remark about Pete Buttigieg, and he lost his sponsorship with Titleist. Talk about that.
Yeah, he made he made a joke that wasn't funny. Posted a homophobic meme, and he gave what a lot of people believed was kind of an empty and a hollow apology. And because of that, as of this morning, he had already lost two of his big sponsors, one being Titleist, and then the other a little clothing deal that he had. But he made a joke about a guy who obviously we know Mayor Pete's story, and he said something that he shouldn't have said, and because of it, now he's going to pay in his pocketbook. And he's probably lost some fans also.
Just completely idiotic, and
ridiculous.
The problem is when you look at the PGA Tour, a lot of people perceive the PGA Tour as white elitist. I know, you've got some African Americans and people that are obviously extremely successful on the PGA Tour that are minorities. But again, when you think of the PGA Tour, you think of white elitist, white privilege. Certainly, I think that way, but. This certainly doesn't help that, right? That's for sure.
No, not at all. No, not at all.
Yeah.
I just sometimes think, what are these people thinking? Even if it's not something that you made. In this case, it was a meme.
Right.
I don't know that he's the one who actually made it, but you got to be smart enough to realize when you are somebody who's famous and in the spotlight that you cannot even share something that was made by somebody else.
Well, speaking of stupidity, let's talk about the University of Kentucky. There's a fan there that was banned from now all University of Kentucky events for hurling out the N-word. I mean, it's amazing that this stuff is still happening today. Talk to me a little bit about this.
Yeah, Kentucky Wildcats playing Tennessee earlier this week, and there was a fan who was making her way out of the stadium, and she turned to a fan, and she called him the N-word, and it was plain as day. The fan happened to be recording, and like I said, it was very clear, very evident what she said, and her face was visible. So Kentucky, conducted an investigation, and once they were able to identify exactly who this person was and talk to the fan who was on the receiving end of this terrible insult, they've completely banned her from all University of Kentucky events. So she's not going to be going to any more Kentucky basketball games or anything else that has to do with the University of Kentucky. She is done, as I think she should be.
Was this person anyway involved in the Trump administration? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Babcock. That was a horrible joke. I'm going to leave that one alone. I apologize. I couldn't help myself. Let's go to something. Sorry about that. Let's go to something
awful joke,
a little more fun. Julian Edelman. This is kind of fun. Edelman is Jewish, if that's a surprise to anybody. He is now studying for his bar mitzvah. He never heard of bar mitzvah before. L'chaim, shalom. Tell me a little bit about this.
Yeah, Julian Edelman. His dad is Jewish. wasn't necessarily, raised, faith wasn't a big part of his childhood. So when most kids who are Jewish who are having their bar mitzvahs, I'd say around the 13 years old. Julian's now 33, but he's going to do this. He's going to have the bar mitzvah. He is studying, and I'm sure the guest list is going to be super impressive here. You wonder if you get like a Tom Brady spotting at his bar mitzvah. But 20 years late, he is actually going to complete this, and he's going to become a man.
That's actually pretty cool. I like that.
I like it too. I like it.
So Billy Joe Saunders is finally matched up with Canelo Alvarez. He calls it, the dream fight of his life. Do you think he has any shot at all at beating Canelo Alvarez? Because I don't.
I don't think so. I think Canelo is one of the 2 or 3 best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, and Canelo's been impressive. Billy Joe struggled a little bit. Well, I don't remember off the top of my head if it was his last fight or the fight before in 2019, but you need a late-round knockout to win a fight. I don't think so. We actually had Billy in here a few months ago, actually, when he was promoting that YouTube fight with KSI and Logan Paul, and even then, that was the guy that he kept saying on camera when we were talking before we started shooting that he wanted Canelo and he felt like he had the answer, that he knew the kind of the cheat code of how to beat Canelo. So he has been confident this is the fight that he wanted, and I think it's a really appealing fight. I don't know if it's the best fight you can make out there for Canelo, but I think it is one of the best fights you can make. I think fans will be interested. I think Billy Joe truly does believe that he could win, but I think Canelo is just too good of a boxer, too powerful, and I think Canelo will win the fight.
And this is just in. There's rumors spreading that Oscar De La Hoya has said that Canelo Alvarez has now officially just learned his 7th word of English. So is that true? Have you heard that? I'm sorry.
Canelo's before when I'll interview Canelo before we do the recording, whatever we're going to do for the TV show, the website. Talk to him in English. His English is really good.
Is it getting better?
Than a lot of guys who go out there and speak English during interviews. So, but I completely understand that he doesn't want to go out there and speak English if he's not completely comfortable with it. But I can tell you for a fact that that man can speak English, and he speaks it well.
Yeah, and I think he should do more of it then. That gets me even more angry. Anyway, let's move on to the jealousy, which is of Joey Chestnut. This man just crushes Big Macs like I've never seen before. 32 Big Macs in 38 minutes. I'm speechless on this. The funny thing about this video that you guys posted, he's sweating like he just ran a marathon. It's disgusting. What can you tell me about this?
So gross. So gross. Yeah. So it was 38 and 32. Excuse me, in 38 minutes. The previous record had been 30, so he beat it by 2 whole Big Macs, which I couldn't even eat if I tried alone, just having 2. 18,000 calories worth of Big Mac, sweating profusely during this, like you said, Brian. I wouldn't want to be in Joey Chestnut's house right now, mainly his bathroom. This guy is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. It's almost 15.5 pounds.
I just don't understand how his heart can handle all that when he does that.
I don't either.
I had an XL fat burger yesterday, which is like 16 ounces, a couple things of cheese. I got 2 patties, and I had a hard time finishing just one of those, which is like what, 4?
Right, and imagine, and Judy, imagine
8 of those.
Over 15 pounds. So imagine having 15 of those. It's crazy.
Babcock, what do you got going on this weekend, man? A stud like yourself out in the town in L.A. The life
man,
of... Yeah,
I don't have plans yet this weekend.
Really?
I got to do something. Not yet. I'll do something. I'll have some fun.
All the celebrity friends. I want to hear your story, like you went to the Playboy Mansion or something.
You just got to go to Arnold's gym because no one's going there.
Arnold is in Ohio though, because they have the Arnold Strongman going on.
That's right.
Which a big portion of the expo was canceled. 250,000 people upset that they can't go to the expo. So Arnold's not in town this weekend. Right. But here's what I'm going to try to do something fun. Hopefully there'll be some celebrity involvement, and then we'll talk about it next week.
Well, don't get the coronavirus, okay, Mike? Be careful.
I know.
All right.
Everyone's freaking out. It's crazy.
All right, Mike. Always appreciate it when you take some time to join us. You're awesome. Catch you next week, my friend. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, guys. You too.
Thanks a lot, Mikey.
That is Mike Babcock from TMZ Sports. Man, they do such a great job. All right, when we come back, I think we're going to have a special guest in studio that's going to help us this segment and read off the hate mail. The hate mail of the day coming up next.